First of all, hello everybody who's I only see as me. I'm talking to myself. But I feel you. And hello, and thank you First Person Arts for having me. Thank you, Brian. I don't know Brian, so this is very strange to be a part of this. And also, I am coming to you live from a couch in Maryland, which I don't live here, and it's very strange to be here. I live in Los Angeles. My parents lived in San Diego my whole life with me, and then they said we're going to move to Maryland, and so now I'm about to tell you a story from a couch in Maryland because I'm visiting them for the first time in 2 years because of germs. So it's nice to see them, but I'm in Maryland. Anyways, and also I got booted off right before I was about to go on. So if I get through this without getting booted off, that's a win for me. I consider myself a winner. So my story is when I was in junior high in seventh grade, I was the best student of all time. I was I was super smart. I'm not bragging. That's just science. That's how it worked out. I was incredibly smart. If you went to school with me, I would have been smarter than you. So I had the best grades, and I did everything. I was that kid. And I'm not proud of it, but that's what happened. And so I had a history class. First period every morning would be history. Miss Simard's. I don't want to use. I'm sorry. I meant not to use names, but Miss Simard was the name of the teacher. And every Friday we would have a test, and I would finish the test first, way ahead of everybody else. And then afterwards I would collect everybody's tests, and then I would correct everybody's tests. Miss Samar would have me do that, and then I would record their grades in the grade book because that's how brilliant of a student I was, and that's how lazy of a teacher Miss Samard was. So that was every week, every Friday. So one Friday, I'm in homeroom just before first period, Miss Samard's class, and I don't want to name names, but Vince Granada comes running in. He's very excited. He's got a piece of paper, and he announces to everybody in homeroom that he's got the test. He's got the test that we're about to take. I don't know how he got it. His brother was in the class before, and Mrs. Samard never changed the test. Or somehow he got the test that we were about to take with the answers. And there was a bunch of us in homeroom that had the same history class first period, including me. So they started passing around the test and recording the grades or the answers, and then it came to me. Vince hands it to me and says, "Here, take the test." And I said, "No, I don't need the test. I'm fine." And he was like, "Come on, everybody's doing it." And it was the peer pressure. It was like, they're passing out a cigarette or a beer, and I was like, "No, I don't want to go to hell." But then I thought about it, and I thought, you know what? I work hard. I've worked hard all year. I deserve a break. So I'm going to take a break from being a good student, and I'm going to look at the test and the answers. And it was multiple choice, A through D. And I remember that the answers spelled the word Kababadak, which is not a word, but that's what it was, Kababadak. So that's easy to remember. So I go to Miss Samard's class, and I sit there. We get the test, and I don't even look at the test. I just fill out nonchalantly Kababadak, and I sit there for as long as I think it would have taken me had I actually taken the test. And then I think to myself, I think I would have been done by now. So I go up and I hand the test to Miss Samard first, as usual, and she holds it up to the whole class, and she says, "Do you see how hard this is?" And I sit back down, and she starts correcting my test. That was the only test that she would correct, and her face just dropped, and then contorted, and I immediately knew something was wrong. And she said, "Carlos," and she showed me that I had gotten 2 out of the 10 questions. I had only gotten 2 right because it wasn't the same test that Vince Granada had passed around. And I would have realized that had I bothered to actually read the test, look at it, but I didn't because I was brilliant. because I'm the smartest student in the whole class. So I was so smart, I didn't even look at the test and realize it wasn't the test. And I was shocked and scared, and I'm getting cold sweats right now, reliving it. And I said to Miss Samard, I just blurted out, I guess I just went through it so fast I didn't realize what I was writing. And she accepted that. And she had me collect everybody's tests and go into one corner with the grade book and correct everybody's tests. And as I'm doing that, I realize that 5 of us have the exact same wrong answers. So it's obvious that there was a cheating conspiracy. And I make a split decision. Do I get up and do I go over to Miss Samar to just tell her this is what happened? I'm so sorry. And I think to myself, I decide, no. Here's what I'm going to do. And here's what I did. I changed everybody else's answers. I changed C's to D's and A's to D's and B's. And I gave everybody different answers. And I would always look over my shoulder to see if Miss Samard was noticing. Everybody passed because of me except for me. And it was very complicated. It was like brain surgery, I think. I've never done it, but very complex work, changing everybody's answers and making sure that everybody passed but me. And then I went over and I gave her the grade book and the test. And I said, there you are. I'm shaking. And she says, okay, thank you, Carlos. And the rest of the day, I'm getting chills right now. And I told Vince Granada, I have to tell her. I can't live with this. I have to tell her. And Vince said, you can't tell her. You'll destroy lives. Because there was 4, besides me, there was 4 people. You'll destroy those lives. So I didn't tell her. And I went home and I sat down on this couch at my parents' house, except it was in San Diego, not in Maryland. And I lied down on the couch. I was a latchkey kid. I was the first one home. And I covered myself with the blanket up to here. And I was shaking and I was sweating. And I had a fever. And my dad gets home and he sees me on the couch. And I look like I've been run over by a truck because I can't ride a bike. And he says, what happened to you? My dad asked me, what happened to you? And I look at him and I tell him everything. To all of you who are watching, who have no idea who's watching, I told him everything. I spilled it. If I ever get captured across enemy lines, I'm just saying everything. And when I was done with the story about I changed the answers and I this and that, and then I'm crying. And he looks at me and he says, well, there's nothing I can do to punish you more than you've already obviously punished yourself. So when your mom gets home, we'll take you out to dinner and celebrate the fact that you've done something bad. And when my mom got home, my dad said to my mom, good news, Carlos did something wrong. And she said, oh, great. So we went to dinner at Marietta's and had a lovely dinner, a Mexican dinner. I had flan. And then they took me to Target and they bought me 2 CDs as an added celebration. I got Dire Straits, and Brothers in Arms and Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair. And it all worked out very nicely. And a few weeks later, Miss Samard called me over, and I thought she was going to say, I know what happened, blah, blah. She just gave me the same test. She said, take it again. I aced it several weeks later, didn't ask me another question, and that was that. So I learned a very valuable life lesson, which is if you're going to cheat on a test, read the questions. Thank you very much. And that kiss is for 2 very specific people, not for you. Anyway, thank you.